Welcome, my friends, to tonight's pagan sermon from the temple. And this is going out on Christmas Eve, when we all get ready for the 25th, for Christmas Day. Now, sorry, excuse me, I muted it there, sorry about that. Another drink of Coca-Cola, gassy Coca-Cola. Bad for the teeth, but good for the soul. Good for the taste buds anyway. Might not be good for the soul. That's enough of that. Anyway, this is about the winter solstice and Christmas. The last episode was about the winter solstice, but I'm going to keep it up with this one because it is Christmas Eve. And, well, me being a pagan, the winter solstice is more important than Christmas Day, but Christmas Day is important. That's when we celebrate the birth of the transcended Master Jesus Christ. Now, and it's also when we spend time with our loved ones, our family, and that's what I love about Christmas time, spending time with my family, my kin. And that's what tonight's sermon is about the Mother Goddess and the Father God Curdlers, and the whole race of gods up there, as I'm teaching you about over the next several weeks, or the next several years, in fact. Because this is me from now on. This is me, a missionary druid. I'm trying to convert the whole world to the old gods, the real gods. And I'll be doing a sermon every week, every Sunday between 12 and 1, or between 1 and 2. Depends what time I crawl out of my bed at. I'm a bit of a night owl. Always have been. Prefer the night time. And I can smile journey at will at night time. All I need to do is stare into a candle and close my eyes. And I see from the spirit world. It's great, this. I love being a seer, and I love sharing my gift with you, the audience. Now, we've got a couple of seer visions lined up from 2021, lined up later on. I've got a couple of videos about the Mother Goddess Danu. One of the names of the Mother Goddess is Danu. That's what the Irish called her, and the Scots, and several tribes in mainland Europe. The Danube is named after her, and a lot of other rivers are named after her. She was worshipped she's a pan-Celtic goddess, the Mother Goddess, and Danu or Anu is two of the names of her. She has other names in other local areas. The Welsh call her Ceridwen. No, that's not quite. It might be Ceridwen. Or Ceridwen is Bridget. I forgot the law. I need to reread my books. I'll do that pretty soon. Do it tonight, in fact. Now, the Mother Goddess has a consort, a lover, and that's the god Cernunnos, and we are all their children. They are the earth gods, the two gods that are dedicated to the earth, and they have other gods and goddesses helping them out on earth. Every planet has a team of gods and goddesses dedicated to the running of that planet. And that's only planets with intelligent life, where intelligent life develops. Judgeable life. Intelligent life is judgeable. The animals of this earth are not judgeable. They will all be reborn. Only we humans, because of our brain capacity and our intellect, we have become judgeable. We can be condemned, hurt in the underworld, punished in the underworld if we are evil, or we can be reborn in the animal kingdom if we're not fit human beings, or we can be reborn as a human being. But there is one more option. We can transcend to the other world and become I see. But that's what Mother wants. Mother wants as many men and women in the other world as possible. And children get reborn. Children, if they die young, they get to choose their families. They will be embraced with the love of Mother. It's a tragedy when children die young. I can't handle hearing that in the news. It breaks my heart. Think of a wasted life. Not wasted, but an unfulfilled life. And the tragedy of the parents left behind and their brothers or sisters. That's a loss it's hard to take, the loss of a loved one, especially if they died young. So at this time of the year, let's remember all the children that died young, especially in Gaza and the Ukraine, 2 war zones. Let's pray for the children of Gaza and Ukraine at this time of the year. Now, I've got a couple of videos lined up. This is Joanna van der Hoven. I'm going to play her video now. It's on for about 5 minutes. All the videos are on for about 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. And I think you'll enjoy them all. They're quite informative. Anyway, that's enough from me introducing the sermon. I'll be on later on with a sermon. The sermon should be quite interesting. That'll be on after the Seer version, a 20-minute Seer version, 2 Seer versions. So that's 3 videos and 3 speaking videos, 1 version video. It contains 2 versions. Then I'll be on for the sermon. That'll probably be the formula of the service from now on. Anyway, here we go. Here's Joanna van der Hoven.
The winter solstice is the shortest day of the year. It literally means that the sun stands still, from the Latin sol, meaning sun, and sister, to stand still. The midwinter sun rises at its furthest point in the southeast and sets in its nearest point in the southwest, thus making the shortest and lowest circuit in the sky. For 3 days, the day before, the day of, and the day after the solstice, the sun rises and sets on the same points of the horizon until it begins to rise further east and set further west with each and every day. This phenomenon occurs between December 20th and 22nd each year. The Welsh name for this time is Albanarthon, a term coined by the 19th century poet and writer of forgeries Iolo Morgannwg. This translates as light of winter or light of the bear, although it's also known as Albanarthun, which means light of Arthur. Here in Britain, the sun doesn't travel very high in the sky at all during this time, and is always casting long shadows across the wintry landscape. The daylight doesn't really start much before 9 a.m., and at the darkest point, when the darkness creeps back in the afternoon, it's around 3 p.m. It can be a real challenge for people who live in northerly latitudes at this time of year. The effects of seasonal affective disorder are now well known, as the brain produces less serotonin and melatonin during the winter months due to lack of sunlight, and the body's circadian rhythms are also affected. In Britain and Europe, the solstice is also known as the midwinter solstice, for indeed, at this point it is the middle part of winter. For the Celts, winter began around Samhain, and its effects diminished around Imbolc, when the first signs of spring began to show at the beginning of February. The tradition of wassailing happens during this time, found in another incarnation as caroling, and usually occurs during the 12th night, which on the Christian calendar is January 5th or 6th, on the pagan calendar New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Songs would be sung, toast dipped in cider and hung on branches, and shotguns fired into the branches of the trees to drive away evil spirits. There are many traditions related to the winter solstice, such as the creation of a kissing bough, which may be a remnant from Celtic times, when mistletoe, an herb sacred to the Druids, was honored. It's at this time of year when mistletoe is the most obvious, not being hidden by any leaves and showing clearly among the bare branches of the trees in midwinter. Bringing evergreens into the home is traditional, and it stems back from its pagan origins in Europe. Holly wreaths and spruce or fir trees are honored at this time of year and signify the continuity of life even in the darkest depths of winter. We know that trees were very important to the Druids and the Celts, as well as for many other forms of paganism found throughout Western Europe and, indeed, the rest of the world. The Yule log is possibly a descendant of an ancient pagan custom, where this year's log had to be lit from a remnant of the previous year. It's often said that the log is either of oak or ash, both considered to be symbolic of the world tree or axis mundi. Modern Druidry sees this as the time when the sun's strength returns and is celebrated. I can personally attest to the great joy in seeing the sun's return in the lengthening days here in the UK after a long and dark winter. Each precious few minutes of extra sunlight are indeed something to be celebrated. It's a time to gather around the hearth and to be with friends and family through the long winter nights. Blessings of the winter solstice to you all.
So fair, an isle so green, known by many names. Feel the pulse of the land. The blood boils within your veins. Someone go down to the holy well and raise the spirits there. Lay a feather on a stone with a flame and a lock of hair. The crane, the wolf, the bear and the boar no longer dwell upon these shores. You say the goddess and god have gone, but I tell you they live on, for in the cities and hills and in circles of stone, the voices of the old ways, the spirit of Albion is calling you home. Crashing sea to the moor and the highland glen, from the fairy hills home of the Shee to the veins of the Broad and the Fen. Someone go down to the holy trees of oak and ash and thorn, utter a charm in the verse of 3 till the summer king is born. The crane, the wolf, the bear and the boar no longer dwell upon these shores. You say the goddess and god have gone, but I tell you they live on, for in the cities and hills and in circles of stone, the voices of the old ways, the spirit calling you home. Ride the white horses carved into the hills, walk to the hanging stones, bow to the light of St. Abbas's height, feel the peace in the ancestors' home. Someone go down to Wilmington where the giant guards the way. Step into the other world, into the womb where centuries pass like a day. The crane, the wolf, the bear and the boar no longer dwell upon these shores. You say the goddess and God have gone, but I tell you they live on, for in the cities and hills and in circles of stone, the voices of the old ways, the spirit of Albion is calling you home.
God of the green, Lord of the forest, I offer you my sacrifice, I ask you for your blessing. You are the man in the trees, the green man of the forest, who brings life to the dawn in spring. You are the deer in rut, mighty horned one, who roams the autumn forest. The hunter, circling around the oak, the antlers of the wild stag, and the lifeblood that spills upon the earth each season. God of the green, Lord of the forest, I offer you my sacrifice, I ask only for your blessing. The name Cernunnos was one given to an extremely powerful and ancient deity that was widely worshipped throughout the world, and still is even to this day. Cernunnos can be translated to mean horned one in Celtic, and the horned god was just one of the many names that the deity went by. His origins can be traced back to nearly every culture throughout time, but the name and appearance changes. Cernunnos, as he's known in Celtic mythology, is perhaps the one we're most familiar with. He often appears as human, or at least human-like, with the antlers of a stag, sometimes even with horns that we'd associate with a satyr or a faun, resembling the Greek god of the wild Pan, and much like the Greek god, Cernunnos was seen to be a god of the wild, nature and fertility, amongst many other things. Being a deity so heavily associated with nature, he was often accompanied by a group of animals that were thought to be symbolic of the god. The stag, the bull, and the ram. He was also often seen holding a horned or spotted snake. Despite appearing as somewhat human, many believe that he wore a human face and did not take a particular interest in the concerns of humans. He was a protector of animals, often being called the Lord of Animals, and it's very likely that few hunted in his woods without appeasing the god first. There are those who saw his connection with animals as also being connected to our own deeply buried instinctual and animalistic natures. The earliest known depictions of Cernunnos were found in northern Italy, within the region of Val Camonica, which was under Celtic occupation from around 400 BC. His worship continued to grow in the region of Gaul, which covered a host of countries in Western Europe, and the images of the horned god can even be found in the French capital of Paris. While digging under the Cathedral of Notre Dame, an ancient pillar was found. It was named the Pillar of the Boatman, and it contained 16 carved images from the Greco-Roman pantheon, as well as some Celtic inscriptions. There is a carving of a man with horns, which has led many to believe that it was indeed the horned god Cernunnos. There are those who would argue that the image could have also been a depiction of the Greek god Pan. It's fairly difficult to read because of the tablet's age and the erosion and damage caused over time, but inscribed above the image in Latin is the word Ernuno, which we can assume refers to the Celtic interpretation of the horned god. It's impossible for us to identify every horned god as Cernunnos, but the image on a pillar shows a torque, a piece of jewellery that was common amongst the Celtic people. It was often used to show a person of high status, and in some other cultures torques were thought to have mystical powers, being able to ward off curses and provide the wearer with protection during battle. With Cernunnos being a god that was thought to protect all animals, he can be found wearing a torque around his neck or hanging from his antlers, sometimes even just holding the piece of jewellery in one hand with a snake in the other. One of the most noticeable depictions of the horned god can be found on the Dunderstrup cauldron, where we see him holding a torque and a serpent, surrounded by numerous creatures, a dog, a raven, and a stag, creatures that we often see appear in tales of mythology and folklore. Cernunnos was a god worshipped in both pagan and Wiccan practices. The cycle of the seasons in some Wiccan practices followed the relationship between the horn god and the goddess, with Cernunnos representing male energy. The fall symbolized the death of the horn god, as the land and vegetation became dormant during the autumn and winter. In the spring, however, the horn god was resurrected, where he would impregnate the fertile goddess of the land. This interpretation of the horn god and his relationship or marriage with the mother goddess is a relatively recent pagan and Wiccan concept, and was likely not one celebrated by the Celtic people. The ancient Celtic people would have seen and worshipped Cernunnos in a different manner. They would often attempt to commune with the god, seeking to receive some of his power, dressing themselves in animal skins and adorning skulls to honour the fallen wildlife. There are theories that the Celtic interpretation of the horned god could have evolved into what the pagans believed to be the Green Man, a spirit associated with nature and man's reliance on the cycle of growth that comes with spring. The Green Man sometimes appears as an ordinary man covered in leaves, but sometimes he takes the form of a walking tree, similar to the race of Ents that we see in Tolkien's Middle-earth. Cernunnos at times is a very misunderstood god for several reasons. Naturally, because of his horns and the occasional depiction of a large erect phallus, images of Cernunnos can be misinterpreted as a symbol of Satan. With the Christian Church not taking kindly to the worship of other deities, they quickly labelled the pagan following of Cernunnos as devil worship, and they did their best to discredit all aspects of the horned god's character, constantly comparing him to Satan as an attempt to make it almost impossible to distinguish between the two. The depictions of Satan at the time included horns that resembled the Celtic deities. We can assume that this was done deliberately, and it certainly created confusion amongst those who had never heard of the Celtic interpretation of the horned god. There are some accounts that associate Cernunnos with the underworld, being somewhat of a guide to the dead. He was able to move with amazing stealth and grace, being able to walk through thickets and woods without being seen or heard. It's likely the way that he moved was considered otherworldly, and thus he was thought capable of walking in between the veil that separated the realm of the living from the realm of the dead. He was known to help guide the dead from their previous life to their new one, where he encouraged them to continue the pursuit of wisdom and happiness. Cernunnos being seen as a prosperous god ties in with his association with the Yule season, the 13th of December until the 25th, what many of us will consider Christmas Day. During this period he was referred to as the gifting stag, a mystical creature whose antlers were thought to symbolise the strange powers of the winter solstice season. It was thought that sometimes he would appear on the 26th of December, where he would encourage those who received gifts to give them away to those less fortunate than themselves. There isn't much, if any, Celtic literature surrounding Cernunnos, and this does lead to a lot of confusion around the god. What we do know for sure is that he was a god who went by many different names in many different cultures. Over the years he's been associated with a host of different things. He was the god of the wild, fertility, wealth, life and death, the hunt, and of course animals. Whether you believe Cernunnos was one of the many interpretations of the horned god, or the original, his influence and aspects can be seen in many different cultures. From Herne, the English god of the wild hunt, to Pan, the great god of the wild in Greek mythology, Pashupati, the lord of animals in Hindu mythology, and even Vles, the god of the forest in the Slavic pantheon. Sadly, Cernunnos is a god that we don't know much about, and the majority of that falls onto the Christian Church, attempting to erase him from existence. As someone who is quite fond of the Greek god Pan, Cernunnos is also a deity that I'm naturally drawn to. I don't consider myself particularly well versed in Celtic mythology, or pagan and Wiccan practices, so if there's anything I've missed, or you'd like to share your thoughts with me, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Mythology and Fiction Explained.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, without no seams nor needlework. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to find me an acre of land, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, between the salt water and the sea strand. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to plough it with a lamb's horn, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and sow it all o'er with one peppercorn. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to reap it with a sickle of leather, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and thrash it all out with a bunch of heather. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
In Irish mythology, Danu, the flowing one, is a triple goddess. She is the great mother of the gods of Ireland, the Tuatha De Danann, or the children or people of the goddess Danu, and she is the divine creatrix who brings all things into being. She is associated with both masculine and feminine energies. All Celtic people can trace their lineage back to her. She is an earth goddess associated with fertility, growth, abundance, agriculture, cultivation, nurturing both the land and people, inspiration, intellect, change, wisdom, transcendence, magic, and universal understanding. She also has associations with dolmens, a single-chamber megalithic tomb, a portal tomb, or portal graves, flowing waters such as rivers and seas. Danu is not found in any surviving medieval Irish texts, and she has no myths or legends associated with her specifically. The nominative form of the name is a reconstruction by modern scholars based on the genitive Dana, which is the only form attested in the primary sources. The etymology of the name has been a matter of much debate since the 19th century, with some earlier scholars favoring a link with the Vedic water goddess Danu. In the Rig Veda, the earliest of the 4 Hindu scriptures, Danu is mentioned as the goddess of the seas and gave her name to the Danube River, which runs through Europe. She also has possible parallels with the Welsh figure or goddess Dawn, who is the mother figure of the medieval tales in the Mabinogion. She has been associated with many deities throughout the world, such as Danu, as we spoke of in the Hindu Vedas in Ireland, Danu, Danan, Dana, Anna, and Anu in Ireland, Dawn in Wales, Danuvius in Roman, Duna in Hungarian, and Donau in German. The Tuatha De Danann. There were a series of invaders of Ireland. The 5th round of invaders was the Tuatha, who were descendants of Named, the leader of the 3rd reign of invaders. He had conquered the Fomorians, who invaded Ireland the 1st of May and battled the Fir Bolg, which was believed to be a race of evil giants. They eventually won an uneasy peace and provided the Fir Bolg with sustenance, life, and law. Now this was the first battle for the Tuatha. The second battle was with the Fomorians, who were the semi-divine race believed to be the beings that preceded the gods, similar to the Greek Titans. They represented chaos and wild nature. They returned after Nemed died of illness. The third battle was with the mortal Milesians, who drove the Tuatha underground into the Shi, or Hollow Hills, by Mahamanmaklir. The Tuatha De Danann are believed to have been the wise ones, the alchemists, and the magical people of ancient Ireland. Other members of the Tuatha De Danann included Mahaman, Breed, Macha, which was one of the faces of the triple war goddess, the Morgan. It is believed that when the Gaelics invaded Ireland, the Tuatha De Danann shape-shifted to the Shi, who are considered the fairy folk or the leprechauns of Ireland. Danu acts as a divine ambassador to the elemental kingdoms or other worlds, providing platforms for positive interactions with the Fae. Danu is thought to have married her consort, Bi-Li, associated with the sacred tree and known as Lord of the Dead, and was the mother, daughter, lover of the Dagda, the chief leader of the Tuatha De Danann. She, as aspect of Dawn, was married to Dian Ketch, healer of the Tuatha De Danann. She has many children, depending on who she is a consort to, whether it was with Bi-Li or with Dagda, or with Dian Catch. She has many different children associated with her. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to share it with others on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This way you won't miss any of my newly uploaded videos. And be sure you've connected with me on Facebook, either through my Cricket Song fan page, Lunar Wisdom business page, or by joining the Sacred Circle.
We all watched you on our TV. Right honourable gentlemen, apparently. Different voices with only one aim: to win my vote and to win the game. Now some have died to pave the way, so we can vote come polling day. X marks the spot that gives us our voice. But how do you vote when there isn't a choice? If you thought that we would do nothing, you've misunderstood. For we are the sons and daughters of Robin Hood. This time around the stone, and the poll tax riots of Trafalgar Square. The rich, they got richer, the poor were stripped bare. Building new roads with no thought for the land, and the blood of the bean field is still on your Now drilling off Shetland will do you just fine. And you wanted to sell off our forests like you closed down mine. If you thought that we would do nothing, you've misunderstood. For we are the sons and daughters of Robin Hood. There's nothing to see, there's nothing to see, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see, won't you just look away? There's nothing to see here. England's green and pleasant land is not there to put cash in your hand. I see your symbol is the English oak tree. Is that your idea of irony? Now millions of eyes have turned upon you, and each one is watching what you will do, and all are ready to spoil your game. For the blood of an outlaw, it flows in our veins. If you thought that we would do nothing, you've misunderstood. For we are the sons and daughters of Robin Hood.
It's the 11th of the 12th, 2021 at 2:31 AM. I'm going to go in for a shamanic journey now. Oh, I don't need to fix that microphone. Right, I'm going to go in for a wee shamanic journey now. I've not been in for a while. I think I'll go in for a wee journey. I've not been in. So here we go. Right, I'm going to stare at a candle to my eyes charge up. And I'm going to go deep in. Once I just tune into this music. Orders. There are two orders standing up, and I don't know what that is. I see lights shining on. There's like technology to my left, some type of technology to my left. And there's an orange glow in the middle of the screen and a pedestal and a podium. It's turning into a person. It's turned into a person, a big person. Turned into a wee circle. It turned into a ball. Looks like a tennis ball. Now it's changed colour, it's orange. It's got something up the top of it, like a fruit, like an apple. It's like an apple, a red, it's turned into a red apple. That up. See a bottle. A bottle, I don't know what, there's a label on the bottle, I don't know what the hell that could be. I can see, sorry, I can see IC there. I think some people need food and water. That's to the government. See IC, smiling, what I said. The people in need of food and the government know who they are, have got to be fed. It's nearly Christmas time. They haven't been fed for ages. This is an emergency for them. This is going up to YouTube, Boris. I've no fear of you. You may be Prime Minister of Britain, but you're a bastard. The gods know it. You seen what I saw there, Robert? Boris, rather. You've seen that up there. Turn on this. King of the gods. Mother's consort. Black scale orders. my visions lit up. This is nuts. All visions lit up. I can see white scale everywhere now. Like a bulge coming towards my eyes, like a wave, a big bulging wave. Streaking towards us, heading towards the government, myself, and to the left. It's like a steamroller in the middle of it, steaming along, rolling along. There's to be a crescendo of people joining this chorus, this voice. The government are up to something, the gods know what the government's up to, and it's up to the people to stop what the government is up to. That's a message from the gods. That's from my spirit guide. She's a priestess and mother, Carnanas, my 3 spirit guides. Can't see anything now. I'm on a political rant tonight. This is a political shamanic journey. It's a shamanic journey for the government. Can't see anything. We are up until I think I go back in. I've got to hide the ass too bright. I wonder how that's any pause, let's check it out. Oh, it's still recording. That's 4 minutes I've been in for. Here we go again. Oh, I love this tune. I charge the gland again. I stare at a candle to charge the gland. For the drums to come in, I'll keep talking it out. This is about the government, this shamanic journey tonight. I'll close my eyes in a couple of minutes to see what we're told. See, we've got advice for the people of the West. I'm a druid of the West, druid of the earth, who lives in the West. The influence by the Western society, the culture I was brought up in, that I've rebelled against. It's a corrupt culture. Go in now. Change coming in. Now. Oh, there's an owl. Wow, that was spectacular. Everything's lit up. A bright red owl. I can see 2 screens to my left, a screen to my left, a screen to my right. And a bright, oh wow, that is spectacular. Look at that. That is spectacular. I can see a door. It's a tower, a massive tower. That's another world, or the underworld. That's where the condemned souls go. There's a shield in it, or a window, a bright red window, there's a face in it. That's the government, that's Boris Johnson. He's been taken upwards, he's going upwards. It's turned into a pineal gland, a pineapple, that's the symbol for the pineal gland. He's to listen to these shamanic journeys. The Prime Minister must listen to these shamanic journeys. I speak as the gods speak through me, through my spirit guide. She lets me see these visions, and these visions are for the people and the government, not just myself. I'm a public seer and druid. Can't see nothing now. Oh, there's more sermon. I can't explain, I don't know, it's like a cauldron, that's what it's a cauldron, it's turned into a cauldron, it's cauldron of rebirth. It's turned into a shape, like a star kind of thing. This is hard to explain this. See glasses, sunglasses, that's the implant. Gods are blowing a whistle on the implant, the vision implant. Vision implant the world's governments have. They plan on rolling out once they depopulate this earth. They've blown whistles on it for several years along with other whistleblowers all over the world. Though many people are not aware of the implants any longer, the implants that the governments have. We're not aware of what they are, we're aware of the RFID implant, but a lot of people are not aware of the vision implant. Some people in Britain, most of Britain have heard of it, I think. A lot of people in Britain have. Thanks to Edward Snowden. Can't see nothing now. political against it. I'm shamanic on it. Sorry about that. Close my eyes and then I run again. It's shamanic. That's true. See a circle, 2 circles, and I can see a pedestal in the middle, turned into a face, turned into a head. I'm going to go in now. See an aura, front of her face. It's a nice she, spirit from the other world. You can see another aura appearing with 2 eyes in it, it blinked. It's a spirit, a nice she spirit. Looking to my right. It's blinking. Sending an aura to the right. It's fading now. You see a tunnel start to form. It's leading to the left. That means action. Action is required at the left. You come out the tunnel. It was a short journey. I don't know where I'm at. Upper or lower. I think this is still the middle world. I need to charge the pineal gland. I'm not seeing anything now. Where's the light? Shape of a person. Wee tiny person, wee tiny blue light. I'm in a faint tunnel, it's very faint. It's moving along the tunnel, at the bottom of the tunnel. I'm coming out of the tunnel now to the left. The tunnel's leading on, the tunnel's going on, I'm coming out the tunnel. I'm out the tunnel. You see orders. There's a bright aura at a right angle. Not a right angle, a 45-degree angle. It's turning left and right. Now it's orders again. I'm flying along the orders. As if I'm underwater now, I'm coming up, I'm coming up. I'm hovering at the edge of the water. Like waves cascading. Forming a pyramid, a triangle. Form a pyramid shape. Another corridor, another tunnel. Pyramid tunnel this time. Never seen a pyramid tunnel before. I think that's the upper world I'm in. I have seen a pyramid tunnel before. But only once. Not seeing anything now. I think I'll come out and go back in. See an IC spirit, he's looking to the left, and there's another spirit appearing looking to the left. Look, one to the right, one to the left, and one looking right at me. That's 3 IC spirits and straight after one another. Now I'm seeing 2 lights. Forming a wee humanoid shape, it's very small, it's tiny. It's a person. I don't know what it's meant to represent. It looks like an instrument to me, or an arm, like a saxophone or an arm. Can you see it? Can't see anything now. I might go out and come back in, charge the pineal gland. Staring into candles to charge the gland, which helps in the shamanic seer vision. Come out and go back in. See auras, can see 2 circles, 2 holes, 2 auras with holes in the middle. There's a bright light in the middle of them. I don't know what this is meant to represent. I think it's depopulating an implant. We're all going in holes. The gods have been blowing whistles, and this was me previously. My spirit guides, both my spirit guides, and the team of workers that work with priestesses that work with them. See nothing now. I can go out and come back in. It's short visions I'm getting this time, very short visions. See another face looking to my right. It's like a frog. It's lying down now, it's falling on its head. Disappearing. It's just saying the human race is going to fall down dead. You see a creature. I think it was an animal, like a tiger. Is that a tiger? I think that's a tiger. Need to look up tigers in the spirit guides, see what it represents. I forgot. Need to check my notes. See what the tiger represents in the spirit guide. There's a message. Very short visions, these ones are too short. Shorter than normal. I don't know if recording these visions is annoying my spirit guide. No, it's not. It's just seen a vision now. I think it's the situation we're all in. I'll come out and go back in. See 2 circles forming that same IC spirit again. It's looking directly at me now. Now it's looking to my left, looking at me again. The people to my left are obsessed with me, I think. I think that's what it's saying. I think this is a personal journey. Personal message here, I think. I get a wild message. I'll stay in this time. Stay in a wee bit longer. See, oh, there's something. See a light, a very small light. Oh, there's a tiger. No, a jaguar. See a jaguar. I've got a jaguar, man. Once again, my memory's gone. See a bright aura. It's a bit faint, not too bright. Turned into an angular face. I think that's the Lord of the Underworld emblem. Shamanic symbol. Some people may be going to the underworld once they pass over. You all must stay on the right path. Middle way Druidry, the path to enlightenment, true enlightenment. It's never hurt anyone, never caused suffering. I'm not seeing anything now. I think I come out and go back in. See the same icy spirit again. It's looking at my, looking to the right now, right to the right at a 45-degree angle. Got a side-on profile. Turn to the right. See a face. And an aura. Bright aura. It's all grayscale. Clouds. Paid now. I need an ayahuasca journey coming up. Feed the pineal gland. Maybe some psilocybin. Get the visions more clear. Of shamanic medicine, my shamanic food. Can't see anything. I end this vision. Can't see nothing. I'll come out for a wee while, take a wee breather. Then I'll come out. Welcome to the sermon part of the service. I'm your host, Raven Bloodstone. Now, this is going out on the 24th of December. I might upload it on the 23rd. I've recorded it on the 21st, the winter solstice. Now, it is for Christmas Eve. It's for Sunday. All the sermons go out on a Sunday. But it's Christmas Eve this time, so people will be busy, so they might not see it. So I'll probably upload it on Saturday. You can watch it Saturday, Sunday, or Christmas Eve, Christmas Day even. Now, tonight's sermon is about Jesus, our ancestors, and the Mother Goddess and Canonus. And it's also about this time of year, thinking of those less fortunate than us at this time of the year. Now, the Spirit of Jesus says that Jesus tried to change the way the Israeli people thought, the Jewish people thought. He tried to wake them up to the Mother Goddess. Jesus was in the scene. And as the Gnostics have been teaching us since their lore was discovered, that Jesus believed in a Mother Goddess, just like the Celts believed in a Mother Goddess. And Jesus was described as the Son of God, and that's what the Celts kind of fell for. They have their own myth about the Son of God, the Mabon, and they mistook Jesus for the Mabon. And then they all converted to Christianity, and the rest is history. And it's nearly history for the Mother Goddess and the true teachings of Jesus, because the Celts adopted the Roman version. Now, the Mother Goddess and the Father God, Canonus, have created a system of judgment for all mortals who hope to enter the other world to be judged upon by the immortal judges, who are themselves transcended masters. Jesus is a transcended master. He may be one of the judges. No idea what his job is in Turnanog, the other world, up in heaven. Everybody that makes it to heaven is assigned a task, a job to perform. If I make it, I hope to be included in space warriors. Not warriors, sorry, space travel, on the boats, on the spacecraft that I've seen in shamanic journeying. There is technology, high technology in their God's land, up in the other world. Think about it. Well, think about how far humanity has come in the past 100 years. 100 years ago, we were out in horses and carts. Now we've got cars, planes, trains, and we're getting more advanced. Just in the space of 100 years. Well, their universe is 14 billion years old. So just think how advanced the gods are. Now, our spirit guides teach us how to transcend, and how to help us out in life. That's why we should all be encouraged to shamanic journey, so we can receive the teachings and the wisdom of the I See. And that is important. And they will teach us the true importance of the community of humans, the true community of humans, like-minded citizens, like-minded souls, all trying to minimize suffering and spread joy and happiness. Utopia. We must create what is above, below. As above, so below. Utopia above, utopia on earth. We must create it for the benefit of all earthlings and the planet, all the animals and plants that reside here. Now, the I See, what are they, and what do they do, and what do they want of us? Well, that I see are saints, what the Christians call saints. They're humans and aliens that have passed over and died, met the immortal judge in the celestial courts, and passed the immortal judge. They were given an immortal judgment of a mortal life, living with the gods and goddesses in Turnanog, the other world, heaven. It is a gift. I haven't made it yet, and I don't know how many attempts as a human being I've been on earth trying to transcend. Well, now I know the secret. You must minimize the suffering that you cause on all life forms, not just in humans, but in sentient animals. You must not eat meat. You must minimize suffering. But worse than that, you must not buy meat for a predator. That's cats and dogs. You can't buy meat. They shouldn't be living with us humans. Dogs are at their happiest when they're with other dogs. And they're happy with their owners. It's a symbiotic relationship, and it's one that can be encouraged, but only if you're aware that you're going for a rebirth. If you buy meat for your predator pet, you're going for a rebirth. The laws are strict. If you have a pet, don't get rid of it. Keep it, love it, buy it meat, but promise mother that you will never get another pet, another predator pet, a carnivorous pet, when your current pet passes over. I used to have a cat, used to have a dog as well. I'll never have another pet. Pets are for the countryside, and I reside in a city. Pets have no place in a city. Cats and dogs have no place in a city. They're best in the countryside, where they're free to roam wild. Now, are our politicians doing what the people want this year when Christmas time? Well, when it comes to homelessness, they're not. When it comes to Gaza and Ukraine, they're not. They're not trying to empathize peace in the Middle East. They're sitting back, waiting for the Israelis to get bored shooting dead children and women, blowing them to bits. This time of the year, it's not on. We can't blow up children in the middle of Christmas. It's wrong. You can't blow up children at any time. So stop dropping bombs on Gaza. It is a civilian area. There are no military targets in Gaza. So why are the Israelis dropping bombs from planes? Cowardice. Murder. They're murderers, the Israeli government. Murderers. Cold-blooded murderers. Shooting dead unarmed men and women and children. Men waving white flags. They're being murdered by the Israeli soldiers, just like the 3 hostages, murdered by their own soldiers as they were carrying a white flag. Murder, genocide from Nazi Israel. How dare the children of the Holocaust inflict another Holocaust on the Palestinian people? How dare they? This war must cease now, before Christmas. And our political leaders must put all the pressure on Israel that not one bomb will fall on Palestine on Christmas Day. What else are going to politicians do that the people want if they're not doing that? We must wake those politicians up, that they must treat us people as their bosses, not the cult or America, but we the people. We put them there, and we can take them away. We can take the jobs away from them, pull the rug from under their feet. And we will do that at the next election. But there's not much of a choice, is there? One mob's as bad as the next. We need a new political party in Britain, and I hope to start it or inspire it, based on a lottery-based government, as I will go on about in future sermons. And I've been on about it the past several years on radio. I think you all know what I mean by a lottery government, so I won't go on about it just now. I'll wait for a future sermon. This is about Christmas and the Spirit of Jesus, the transcended I, she, Master, and what our ancestors want of us this Christmas. Well, what our ancestors want is for us to thrive, to think of our family members that are less well off, and to visit them or phone them and brighten up their day. Especially on the 25th of December, Jesus' apparent birthday. It's not his real birthday, no one knows when he was born, but it is when we celebrate his birthday. So let's keep it within the spirit. Christmas Day is Jesus' birthday. And Jesus really lived, as I have seen him in seer visions. We all know the teachings of Jesus in the West according to the Roman Empire. If you studied Gnosticism, then you'll get close to the teachings of the real Jesus and what he tried to wake people up to. I've got a couple of videos on my website about it. I've got a good one about Jesus' sayings. I'm going to cut out certain bits, edit out certain bits, get it into smaller segments. I think it's on for over an hour. I think I'll do 10 minutes of Jesus' sayings. I might play one just now, in fact it should work. Hold on a wee second while I look for it. I shall play one of Jesus' sayings. No, I never find it. My computer's too big. I've no idea where it is. It'll take me 10 minutes to locate it. Anyway, I'll play that in future sermons, future services. Because it is important to cover the teachings of the world's religions. Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Sikhism, Hinduism. They all have elements of the truth and teachings of the past, and we should all take those teachings to heart so we can live in a better world and create a better hope for our children, a better world for our children. Now, this time of the year we should be visiting the old pagan site, Stonehenge, and all your local henges, Callanish up north, and all the local ones that locals know about that aren't in the history books. The only ones in the history books are the big sites, Avebury, Glastonbury. But they're located all over Britain. Visit a stone if you live in the countryside. Visit a stone circle and do the best for your clan this winter solstice. Many people go to graveyards on Christmas Day, Christmas morning. We used to. My mum and dad both passed away years ago now, over 20 years ago. 30 years for my dad, 20 for my mum. Huge loss. Still haven't got over it. You never get over the death of your parents. We go and visit them in their graves and say a prayer for them. Most of them are reborn. Some go to heaven. There'll be an earth somewhere. There were meat eaters. They never knew better. They were lied to by the Christian elders. They weren't warned off of eating meat. And my mum would have been a vegetarian, and so would have a whole family. She brought us up to be devout Catholics. Faith I used to follow, till I woke up to the true religion of the old gods. And that was about 30 years ago as well. I think I end the sermon here actually. I've run out of things to say. I didn't take too many notes then. We talked about the importance of true community of humans to become a spacefaring nation. That's what it's all about. Using our scientists to advance the species so we can live a better and easier life. Not to be depopulated and implanted, which is what the Western governments want. So we must get rid of the Western governments at every election and never vote for an implanting party again, like the Conservatives in Britain. I can see the death of that party after what they publicly done to 500 English men and women. I can see the death of the Tories, especially with that new party coming from, I forgot their name, there's another right-wing party, Nigel Farage's party, born of the Brexit party. They'll take over from the Tories. And Labour's winning the next election under Sir Keir Starmer, an establishment stooge, an approving appointee by the cult. The Trilateral Commission, so he was. He's a Bilderberger. He won't guide us down the path of utopia. Don't know where he'll take us. Better than the Tories. We really have to get rid of the Conservatives now. Anyway, that's enough about politics. Let's end the broadcast here on a message of hope. This is the time of Christmas and Yule, a time of family and remembrance, a time when we think of the community, the past, present and future. Let's dream of a better future for ourselves and, more important than that, a better future for our children. That means a democracy, a lottery government democracy. And I'll be waking you up to that in future sermons. Anyway, that's enough of me. I've talked enough. That's an hour and a half this has been on for this service. Let's end it now. Thank you for tuning in, and blessed be.